Jimmy G is in the wing right now in the batter circle. We are going to post up with some in the rink on him. Little sweet, little hockey, little icing. Get that man in here, Jimmy.
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
What up, boy? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you as well.
What's happening?
All right. So let's get right to it.
Hockey,
Of course, we got to start with the boys news. So if you were here last time, the Flyers were in Washington, D.C., and they beat the Caps in a 7-4 barn burner. This game was wild, back and forth, lots of action, big goals, big defense, a lot of hits, and it was a really fun game to watch.
11-point game, bro.
I know, isn't that crazy? And people say hockey players don't score.
Yeah.
But, so the thing with that is now the team is in quarantine, right? So the COVID protocols hit. And so not only is the Capitals' next game postponed, but they can't play the Rangers this weekend. So it's a week without hockey, the worst possible thing that happened. And plus, we're on the East Coast here, and the Sixers are playing at 10 at night. I'm falling asleep halfway through these games. I can't watch the whole thing. All right. So back to the league news. So remember we talked about last week the big trade with Dubois and Laine. So Dubois only played in a few games so far. He only has one goal, and he's a -2. So that's concerning, but he's getting into a new system. He's figuring it out. I'm not too worried about him.
How long do you think till he turns it on?
Not that long. I mean,
first line, right?
Yeah, definitely. He's a two-way forward, so he's a center, and so he has to play defense and offense. So you're asking the man to do a lot. You know what I mean? With scorers, typically you want a wing like an Ovechkin. Malkin plays wing sometimes. Giroux plays wing. But you want your scores in the wings. You want your center to play some good back and forth defense, especially with the faceoffs. So Patrick Laine is leading his team in goals right now with 5, which is pretty damn good. But the second game he played, he got benched the entire third period. Now that's crazy. So that raises the question, did the coach of the Blue Jackets, Tortorella, did he actually want Patrick Laine? Because Laine, if you remember, he had issues with discipline. He was a kid. I think he's only like 21 now. So he was a teenager when he got drafted. And this dude's playing Fortnite. He's missing practices. This dude, he's like AI. He comes to play. Talk about practice. He's in practice. Right. So I don't know if this is a big conspiracy theory or not, but I don't think Tortorella really wanted Laine. Obviously, you had to get Dubois out of there. He's a big cap hit, and he's frustrated. He's not playing. He's not trying, right? So I think that he wanted to score, but definitely not Laine, which is concerning. But I'm excited to see what goes on after there.
So go back to that. That was just a random ass bench. Like, why did they sit him?
So according to NHL.com, it was a defensive liability to keep him on the ice. And that's been a problem his whole career. With Patrick Laine, you're going to have him on the power play, sit to the right of the net and just take big clap bombs. Yeah. And get that fat stick on the ice and just blast him home because he's accurate and he's strong.
Big doinks.
Though, yeah, he's a big boy, but he doesn't hit. So you get a guy like Ovechkin, right? Same player, strong, right-handed, takes a big slap shot. But this dude is a beast. He's a raging Russian. He goes out there like a bowling ball, right? So he plays defense and offense. He can kill penalties. Patrick Laine is not going to kill penalties, and that's extremely valuable, especially on a team with such high firepower, right? So you really want to get a – that's why I was so surprised that the Blue Jackets wanted to get rid of Dubois because he's such a good two-way player, and Laine is now he's only offense.
Yeah, for sure.
Crazy.
I know one of the big questions I wanted to ask you, and I might be jumping the gun super early, but I want to get your thoughts on some potential – real early on, get them in right now. Some Stanley Cup predictions. I know up in the north, the Maple Leafs are frying right now. I know my city right now, Tampa looks like they can run it back right now. They look, hey.
I mean, Vegas in that conversation too. Boy, the Golden Knights.
Absolutely agree. Tampa Bay is coming back, man. That city is just on fire. Good for them too. Florida needs a win right now. But I think that the Boston Bruins beat the odds this year. I think that people thought they were going to take a step back. They lose Chara. They lose a bunch of key pieces on defense, and yet their scorers come back and they're taking over. So, and the Flyers played them 4 times and lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
and we're only 2 points behind them out of the entire league. So we're in 5th place and they're in 2nd. So that's got to tell you something.
Are they doing what the NBA is doing? Are they playing back to back with each other? Just to,
Yep. So, every series is a 2-game series, so it's like a mini playoff
I
thing.
think that's smart. Yeah.
Yep. And so Boston I think is a I don't want to say a black horse because they're in 2nd place right now, but it's going to be between them and Tampa Bay in the East. I think if the Flyers can get their shit together, that's a big if because our main guy Carter Hart he's not playing so well. At this point, the Flyers I do not consider a playoff or a Stanley Cup contender. Definitely make the playoffs, so it makes some noise. But until Carter Hart gets his shit together, I think that they're just going to remain at that cusp. Granted, they can still pull together and they can figure out what they want to be. They can win low-scoring games, they can win high-scoring games, but it's all goaltending. But you're right, Toronto is absolutely on fire. They are lighting up the league in 1st place.
11
They
and
have 2 of the top 5 top scorers with Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews in terms of points. Florida looks good in 4th place. They took a huge step up. They're one of my surprise good teams this year. They got good goaltending. They got a few free agent stars with Anthony Duclair, who's an absolute stud. And I don't know why more teams weren't chomping at the bit to get him. He's an excellent left winger. They got obviously Barkov, who's been the rock there for years. And they look good too. But again, I think that experience plays a lot, and they don't have a lot of experience in the playoffs per se. I think that they need to take one more year to really get all the way up there. Another dark horse team, Edmonton. They keep proving me wrong. They keep proving me wrong with Draisaitl, McDavid. I keep harping that I don't think McDavid is all that, but between those two, they might hit 100 points in a 56-game season.
That is disgusting
per game. That's unheard of.
That's a crazy pace.
They're hot right now, though, so anything can happen. They can cool down, of course. Okay, so I want to take a look at my surprise picks for what I thought were going to be the good teams and bad teams. So I have 3 for each. Okay. My surprise bad teams are the Rangers, Vancouver, and the Islanders. As of right now, these teams
New York down bad, son.
Yep. As of right now, these teams have not cracked the top 10 standings. They don't have their game settled, and they're 2 of those teams are in a tailspin. So the Rangers, they have 3 bona fide studs in that first line. They have Panarin. They have what's his face? The guy starts with a Z. Forget his name.
They got some names in hockey.
Zibanejad. They have Zibanejad, and they have the first overall pick, Alexei Lafreniere. Now, they did lose their longtime tenured goaltender in Henrik Lundqvist, right? And so he's obviously one of the best goalies of all time, but he's also a leader. And so he has that playoff experience. He was one of the last people who were on that cup run back in 2014 or whatever it was when they went to the finals. He was the guy. And to lose him, it's a big loss, not only with the backup goaltender aspect, but just from a leadership aspect. Aspect. Another team, Vancouver. I thought that they were going to be a cup contender this year with Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser. They have a stacked lineup on defense. The offense, Jack Hughes, one of the best young defensemen in the league. They got Braden Holtby, the goalie from the Capitals, but they just haven't put together yet. And I think that they have great young players who haven't gotten paid yet. Yep. That's the issue. They haven't gotten paid yet. Okay. So you're on these rookie contracts, and you want to win when they aren't, signed yet, right? And so they haven't got paid yet. So they gotta win. They gotta win right now because those players are 3 absolute studs, and they're gonna want a big contract. And I don't think they have the cap space to keep them, especially with the COVID year. And finally, the Islanders. They are the team that the Tampa Bay Lightning beat in the Eastern Conference Championship last year.
Yep.
They looked hot. They were a hot team, and they just got beaten by a team that had too much skill at every position with the Lightning, which they still do. But they just don't look themselves. Their star young player, Barzell, has not looked at the sniper puck container guy that he is. He hasn't looked that good. I don't know if it takes time for him to get his game settled, but he has to take his step up. And so my surprise good teams are obviously Florida, take a huge step up, but they're not in a great division. They're in a division with Detroit, And so that's just you're kind of smacking the donkey with that one. Montreal, they are in 6th place. That team is an absolute dark horse in the playoffs. I don't think a cup contender at this point, but from the playoff perspective, they look like a monster team. And Edmonton, I mean, they got their 2 absolute studs, 2 MVP caliber players, and they finally got goaltending. So I think they're a huge dark horse as well.
Hey, man. Yeah, I've been watching a little hockey here and there. Definitely appreciate y'all coming on to give that knowledge, put these people on some games with the hockey. Right now, I'm telling y'all, watch out for Tampa Bay. We about to run it up all 3.
Absolutely.
Bucks, Rays, Lightning, about to run it up again.